Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pool House at Justice University here in Chandler. Beautiful day out today. It's in the 80s already. You're going to deal with the umbrella look today because the tent is not working any longer on my end. But we're going to try a Prof. G and Shively first, and that's broadcasting at the same time from two different courts. I'm hoping they work. Court 1 here where we're sitting. First match we're going to cover is Delilah Denny and Zoe Pepper against Isabella Gary and Haley Azaz. So, sand volleyball new sport here at Justice University, first season. And helps if I have the right angle for you guys to be able to see. And I do apologize. The vantage point we have is we only have a few choices for it. So you'll see we can't really get the full edge of the court, but pretty darn close. So hopeful that that's going to be okay for the game today. Coach Jess put together a good program here. They've had a couple of set wins, and they're looking to expand on that, maybe get a match under their belt. They did get a couple of match victories as well against club teams in the last couple of weeks. And we are going to get started. Here we go. Zoe Pepper starts with the serve. And that's going to be a point to the Lions. View was blocked there for just a second. Sorry about that. And that one put over the top by Isabella Gary. 1-1. Haley Azaz back to serve. Denny picks it up. A little too close to the net. Zoe just can't get there, so that's going to be a point to the Red Hawks. Azaz back to serve once again. Delilah Denny, Zoe Pepper. Just a hit from Denny for a point to the back of the court. And Denny now back to serve. There's an ace from Delilah Denny. Three-two Justice. Here comes the hit over. Denny able to defend that one. Here's Pepper back to Denny. Leaning back, still makes the hit. Benedictine gets it back over. Denny making him run. Here comes the hit back over. Zoe Pepper fielding this one back to Denny. She gets it up and over the net. And they just can't get there. Gary tries to get it up and over, but that right on the net. And that's going to be a point to the Lions. And that is 4-2. Here comes Delilah, puts it back up again for Zoe. A little pokey, and that's out of bounds. And that's going to be a side out and a point to the Red Hawks. Three to four. And now it's Gary's turn to go back and serve after the side change. Comes the jump serve. Denny able to field that one well. Here comes Zoe Pepper back toward the net. Denny up. Little hit over the net with a little help from the net. And that's a side out and a point. Lions. Zoe Pepper back to serve. 5-3. Coming back over. Denny there to get it. And she puts it down again for another kill. And that's going to be 6-3 in favor of the Lions. Zoe just misses in the back of the court there. Out of bounds. Side out and point to the Red Hawks. Denny. Pepper. Here comes Denny again. Little pokey over the net. That one right into the net again, and that's going to be a point and a side out back to the Lions. 6-4. Denny. Nice serve over the net. Good power on that one. Gary with the hit. Denny fields it well toward the back of the court. Good defense by Delilah Denny. Zoe Pepper puts it up and out. And that's going to be a point again for the Lions. Teammates love what they're seeing there. Coach Jess and a few of the team members looking on from the corner. Delilah back to serve again. Here we go. Azaz to Gary. Delilah, oh, diving stop. Just can't get it back to Zoe. And that should be 5-7. Here comes Gary's serve. Delilah puts that one up. Zoe back toward Delilah, and she's going to go for the hit. Fielded awkwardly, but put back up again, and Gary's in there. Zoe on the diving defense. Back over the net. Pokey coming over. Zoe gets it. Delilah back up. Oh, just can't quite get it over there. Good effort by both of the Lions on that volley. And here comes the side change once again. Erica Graves, our wonderful scorekeeper today, at least for this match. Eight 6. Gary on the serve. Delilah back up to Zoe, back to Delilah for the hit. Puts it over. Azaz tries to get there, just can't make it all the way there. And that ball goes out, and that's a point and a side out to the Lions. 9-6, your score. Zoe with the serve. Gary back to Azaz. Ooh, nice little spin move there. Azaz, Gary back to Azaz again on the run. Pepper passes over to Delilah, who chooses to put it right over and down for the point for the Lions. Zoe Pepper once again. That one's going to fall in for a point. Another ace for the Lions, 11-6, your score here. Serve from Zoe. Got some speed on that one. Here comes Azaz. Zoe defends that well. Delilah over the net and just out of bounds, and that's going to be a side out and a point to the Red Hawks. Azaz back to serve. Ladies liking that left side today. Good effort by the Lions there, but just out of bounds, and that's going to fall in for a point. Comes the serve. Pepper puts it up, and Delilah Denny can't even get there. 11-9 in favor of the Lions. Comes the serve, a little short that time. Pepper there. Delilah puts it over the net, helps it, gives a little stop, and that's going to fall again for a point. Got another side change here. 12-9 at the side change. Having a discussion with the referee. Oh, this one actually looks like a timeout as opposed to a side change. Excuse me. So a good start for the Lions today. 12-9. Not sure what's happening on the second court as of now, but hopefully they're seeing some success over there as well. Now the side change. And here we go. Delilah Denny going to take the serve. Jump serve out of bounds. 12-10. It is Gary's turn to serve. I was looking at Haley Azaz heading back there, and she realized it. Comes the serve. Zoe Pepper's there, puts it right up by the net. Delilah fields it off the net. Good recovery by the Lions. Here's the set and the hit for Azaz, and both of the Lions there to defend, which means no one there to receive the pass. And that's going to be 11-12. The serve from Gary. Delilah Denny on the runner. Azaz at the net. Pokes that over for a point, and we have a tie ball game. There's an ace from the Redhawks, and just like that, they've taken the lead. There's a good recovery by the Lions, and now Zoe Pepper going to take the serve back. Tie ball game once again. Gary to Azaz, back to Gary. Hit over the net, fielded well by Pepper. Zoe with the pokey. Keeps it close to the net. Gary, smart thinking, pushes it right back over. Zoe back to Delilah, who's going to hit it right over the head of the defender into the back of the court and get the point for the Lions. Pepper, Azaz. And that one played well again by Benedictine, and we have a 14-14 match. Excuse me, set. And we have the side change once again. Azaz is going to take the serve back in that left corner once again. Short off the net. There's Zoe, fielded well by Gary. Azaz keeps it in play just over the net, and the Lions can't get there. The serve from Azaz. Not where Zoe wanted it, but they recover well. Zoe hits that ball over the net. Gary puts it back up and over. Zoe's there. There's a pokey just over the net, and the defender can't get there, and that's a point and a side out. We got a great set here going 15-15. Good recovery by Gary, and she somehow gets that ball over the net and scores that point. Prof G is officially beginning the action now. I have touched a volleyball. Pepper. Delilah hits that one just straight down on that one. 2-point advantage for the Red Hawks. Pepper hits that one awkwardly backward right at Coach Jess, who obviously can't make a play on the ball. And we're going to get a timeout here, and we'll take a break. Be right back. And we're back just in time for Gary's serve. Zoe not able to get there, and we've got 19-15. Lions need to end this run here, get some control back if they have a hope of taking the first set. Gary's going to serve that one out of bounds, which helps the Lions, of course. 16-19 now. Erica showing off the score. Look at this, 19-16. She didn't know that was in her job description when she signed up for beach volleyball, but we're going to see Zoe Pepper back to serve, 16-19 in favor of the visitors. Gary fields that one. Azaz good on the runner, a little pokey from Gary, and Zoe can't get there. And that's going to head back to the Red Hawks. There's a serve from Azaz. Pepper. Denny puts up a nice set. Pushed over the net there by Zoe. Gary on the hit. Zoe not able to get there. And that's going to be set one to the Red Hawks, 21-16. So good start for the Lions, but unfortunately didn't wrap that set up the way that they wanted to. So we'll see if they can get one back in set two. As we switch sides, we'll be right back. All right, we're coming back now for set number 2 in the best 2 out of 3. See if I can get a little bit better camera angle for you. Just even that one gives you a little bit more of the left side of the court here. Zoe Pepper to lead off with the serve. And that's going to go long and start with a 1-0 in favor of the Red Hawks. Well, that first set, we saw a couple of good runs by the Red Hawks. So if the Lions can just work on stopping those runs, that'll be a good start. Pepper, Denny get the hit. Tip from Gary. Somehow Azaz fields that one back to Gary over the net. Denny's going to set that one up for Zoe Pepper, who's going to poke it over. Gary, Pepper, Denny gets it. Good effort there by the Lions. Pluck a couple of awkward stretches there, and they made it work. And that's going to come back over for Delilah Denny to serve 1-1. Gary puts it straight down. That's where the height comes in advantage there. When you can go straight up and over and put that ball straight down. And now she's back to serve. Isabella Gary. So he puts it up for Delilah, who hits it back to the corner where Gary just was. Not there anymore, though, and that's a point to the Lions. That's going to fall in for an ace. Zoe's second ace of the day. Delilah Denny also having one ace for the Lions. Set from Gary Azaz. Denny just goes off the right side of her arm and out of bounds. And Haley Azaz back to serve. Out of bounds. Good eye by Zoe Pepper. And here comes the side change at 4-3. Thank you, Erica. Serve. It's always nice when the net helps out. That's going to be a point to the Lions. Delilah serving. That's long in the back corner and out of bounds. Side out and point to Benedictine. Justice University located in Chandler, Arizona. If you're not familiar with the school, we're in our 5th year of the school. First year of the beach volleyball program. Just over. Couldn't get it over the net there, and that's going to tie the ball game up. 5-5. I keep saying ball game like we're watching baseball or basketball. Going to tie up the set. Denny, nice set for Zoe, who's going to poke it just short. Gary gets it up and over, but can't keep it in bounds, and that's a side out and a point. And now Zoe Pepper back to serve. Pepper, Azaz. Gary sets it up, a little behind where she wanted it, but again, when the net helps, it helps. And that's going to side out and point for Benedictine. Haven't seen them serve much from the right side, but she does here. Pepper, pokey from Delilah Denny. Defended well by Azaz. Here comes the set. Azaz back for the hit. Zoe able to get there. Delilah going to put it right back over Azaz. Quick trickery there from Gary. Results in a point for Benedictine. And her teammates like that one. Pepper puts it right back up and over, forcing Azaz to come after it. Hit on the run. Zoe's getting there. Ooh, just out of bounds. And we're going to get a side change here with the score 8-6 in favor of not us. We'll take a quick break. And we're back for Azaz's serve. Lions need to end this run here. Gary puts that ball back down again, and now we got a 9-6 in set number 2. Redhawks took the first set after a good running start from the Lions. Just weren't able to hold on. Pepper. Denny's going to put it back over. Good defense from Azaz. Over the net, and Zoe can't get there. Good defensive play by Haley Azaz there to save that one. Pepper to Delilah. Pepper's going to poke it over. Poke straight down there from Gary. She's going to set it back up for Azaz. Going to poke it again to the right side. Right into no man's land. This is one of those runs we talked about. Azaz been back serving for the last 5 or 6 points. Danny takes it back there on the pokey over the net. And that's going to be 7-11 now. Denny's back. Serving from that left side once again. Lofted serve there. A set. And there's a poke. Here comes Zoe Pepper putting it back, making Azaz run for it. Gary putting it back up, and Azaz right back where she needs to be. Zoe almost heads into the Grove. Tries to make the save, just can't get there. And that ball's coming right back over to the Redhawks. Gary with the serve. Gary likes to jump serve, and she's made it effective today. But Denny puts that ball back over and down, and that's going to put a side out and a point on the board. 8-12. 8-12. This is a chance here with Azaz. There's Delilah Denny, puts it back up in the air. She's going to have a chance to hit it, puts a spin on that one. Defended well by Benedictine. 13-8, your score. We got a timeout on the court, and we'll take it. Be right back. And we're back now for Isabella Gary on the serve. Denny puts it up. Zoe puts it over the net, but out of bounds. Lizzie Simmons going to QT. She'll be back. She's warm out here. It's always nice when the players stop by and say hello. Azaz, there's a little pokey there. Pepper gets that one up in the air, but then he can't get there. And we're looking at match point here. Oh, correct. I'm sorry, correction. 15-8. Getting ahead of myself. Looked at the wrong score I was keeping from the last game. And that's poked over there by Denny, and that'll be a point. But the Lions do have to do something quick here because they're down 6 here in set number 2. Zoe Pepper ready to serve. Azaz. Pepper gets it, puts it away in the back, sending Azaz on the run, but defends it well. And there to poke it over. Denny tries to get there. Nothing doing. And that's 16-9. Redhawks with the 7-point advantage. Set up by Delilah Denny for Zoe. Zoe's going to hit that one long, well defended by Azaz. Gary, then Azaz tries to get it, can't quite get there. So that's coming back here. And we're going to get a side change here. Lions hanging around. Oh, correction. I think they were a little bit early. 16-10. Delilah Denny back to serve. Gary somehow fields that one with one arm. Denny back to Zoe Pepper. Gonna put it short. Azaz there to get it. They're calling a double hit there on Gary, and that'll be a point. Be a point to the Lions. It's a poke short, but then he gets there, puts it back up and over. Gary now going to poke it. Back to Denny. Hits it short for the point. And now here's that side change with the score 16-12. Still got time if you're local and you want to come down to the pool house. I know it's a Friday morning. But who needs to go to the office anyway when you can come watch beach volleyball instead? Delilah Denny sees if she can keep this going here. It's a serve. Gary's there. Pepper. Denny with a nice poke over to the right. (13-16). Into the net, unfortunately, there. And we got 17-13 back to the Redhawks and Haley Azaz back to serve. Out of bounds there off of Zoe Pepper. And that's going to be a point. 18-13. Gary back to serve. Something about the left side today. Right on the line for an ace there for Gary. Pepper gets that one. Delilah back up with the quick hit. It's going to fall out of bounds. And now we are at match point. 20-13. The jump serve is long and out of bounds. Saves the match for now. Let's see if the Lions can go on a run here. Every serve from now on will be match point. Here's Zoe Pepper. Azaz. Gary sets it up. Over. Zoe Pepper gets it. Azaz is there. Gary. And that's going to go inbounds. 21-14, your final in the second set. And that'll do it. And in beach volleyball, that's best 2 out of 3. And that's 2. So Benedictine gets 1 set here. Again, not sure what's happening on the other court. That broadcast is probably still going if you want to check that out for a couple minutes while we switch up. And we'll be back. All right, we are getting set here for match number 2 on court 1. This one, a couple of freshmen for the Lions. Abby Bergeron, the bow, fear the bow. Wearing that bright green bow in her hair today, number 7. Sam Atwood, a.k.a. the Lumberjack, wearing number 11. On the court side, normally a middle blocker. Abby more of a defensive specialist, but on the sand court, they do it all. They're facing up against Ella Burton and another Isabella Duchesne, but they were calling her Izzy, so we'll go with Izzy Duchesne. Court number 1, we also had, so if you're just tuning in, let's recap. Court number 1, first match went to Benedictine, 21-16, 21-14. And on the other side, court number 2, Benedictine took that match as well, 21-12, 21-7. So Lions with some work to do here in match number 2. Change of scorekeeper here. Zoe Pepper, the scorekeeper this time around. Opponents shaking hands at the net. Abby and Sam look like they're saying a little prayer here on the court before they get started. Lions start with the serve. Abby back to do it. Sends it a little bit long, but unable to defend is Burton, and that'll be a quick point early for the Lions. Best 2 out of 3. Sets to 21. Third set to 15. Well, this is reminiscent of the first set we saw in match 1. Lions coming out with a couple quick points. There's an ace from Abby Bergeron, her first. The other court, we have Lana Hoffman and Braden Calamity taking on their opponents. Matt's was having some trouble with the broadcast. I'm hoping it's corrected now. So you can flip back and forth. Atwood going to lean back. Let's put some spin on it, but just out of bounds. And that's upside out and a point to the Red Hawks. 1-3 early. There's the serve. Abby thought that one was out. That's an ace there for Ella Burton. That pesky net gets in the way sometimes. Just like that, tie set, 3-3. Points can come quickly here when you're playing volleyball. Point on every serve. That one into the net. And that's going to come back to the Lions after we have a side change. Zoe Pepper showing us the score, 4-3. The umbrellas have come out. Started off pretty nice outside today when we got here. It is now, well, it says low 80s, but I don't believe it. Feels a lot warmer than that. That one tipped by Atwood. Abby not able to get there, and that's going to head back 4-4 now to the Red Hawks. Bergeron, Atwood, Bergeron. Duchesne, here she comes. Izzy with the pokey. Abby just can't get there. Diving attempt, but that's going to be a point to the Red Hawks. Saw Izzy Duchesne before the game putting some really hard hits down. So keeping her off the net might just be a secret to some of this game here. That was short by Bergeron. 5-5 now. Backside out over to Abby. Good serve from Abby. Burton hits it over the head of Bergeron there, and that's going to be a side out and a point. Redhawks. Back and forth we go. 6-5 in favor of Benedictine. Set number 1, match number 2. Bergeron. Atwood gets it up and over. Good diving attempt from Sam. Tries to get it on the runner, does Burton. Not quite there, and that's going to come back 6-6 now. And Atwood's back to serve. Atwood off of the arm of Duchesne. That's going to go down as an ace for Sam, her first. Atwood off of Burton up in the air. Duchesne puts it back up. Burton on the jump. Going to go long and out, and that's going to be a point. And the score 8-6. Yes, I like it when we match. 8-6 heading on the other side here. Side changes every 7. Atwood. Burton not able to get there, and that's another ace for Sam. 9-6 Lions. Off of Duchesne going backward. Burton gets there, back to Duchesne, who's going to pass it over, but out of bounds. And that's going to be another point for the Lions. Little run here with Sam Atwood behind the service line. 10-6. Let's see if they can keep it up. Again, that left side seems to be a favorite of everybody today. Duchesne going to be on the line. And here's Izzy back to serve. Back to Abby. Put it short. Burton back up to Duchesne. Hits it straight down. That's what we saw pregame. 10-8 now in favor of the Lions. Back to Abby. He's going to put it up and short on the net. Good placement from the bow. And that's going to be back to the Lions 11-8. Abby back to serve. Duchesne. Burton into the net. And that's a point for the Lions. Frustrating moment for any player when they go up and it just can't get it over the net. The net giveth and the net taketh away, unfortunately. Abby over the net. Defended well. Well hit over by Burton. Good placement, a couple of these hits these past few minutes. And we're going to get a timeout. Score 12-9 in favor of the Lions, and we'll be back in just a second. Back here in set one after the timeout and the side change. It's going to be a point for the Redhawks. 10-12, the score. Ella Burton back to serve. Out of bounds, and that's going to come back side out and point to the Lions. 13-10. Sam Atwood back to serve. Duchesne puts it up for Burton, sets it back to Duchesne. Chooses that time to tip it over and in. 11-13. That's going to be an ace for Duchesne. Her first of the game, of the set. Sam Atwood there, sets it up for Bergeron. Atwood back to Burton. Burton to Duchesne, little trickery there. Sets it directly over the net. We have a tie set, 13-13. There's the serve. Bergeron there, but off her left arm and out of bounds. Bergeron stops that one, puts it up. She's on the run. Burton to Duchesne, who's going to put it right over. Blocked, though, by Atwood. Just can't get it over. Bergeron there on defense. And we're going to get a side change. 15-13, your score. Again, very reminiscent of the first match where we saw a good lead and then just weren't able to hang on to it. And again, the Lions here were up 3 or 4 points at one point, and these runs can kill you. Duchesne back to serve. Bergeron off and into the tree. 3-point lead now for Benedictine. Bergeron puts it back up and over. Well defended. Duchesne tries to get it on the second hit, doesn't get there, and that's back to the Lions now, 14-16. So the run ends. Let's see if the Lions can return the favor. Abby Bergeron back to serve. Burton, Duchesne. Burton. Not much you can do with that one coming across the net. Atwood. But Atwood and Bergeron both went after that one, and Abby just not able to correct and respond after the hit by Atwood. Abby tries to poke it over. Duchesne gets the block. Abby goes under the net anyway, so either way that would have gotten back to the Redhawks. And we got 19-14. Atwood. Bergeron has to go on the run. She hits it back over, though, and scores the point. Good focus from Abby Bergeron. Good hustle as well across the court. Feet just sink into the sand, so running across the court is not as easy as it might look. Atwood. Burton puts it back up for Izzy. Burton's going to hit that ball free over the net. Atwood to Bergeron. Just can't get there. And that's going to be, we're going to look at set point here with a score of 20-15. Should be the last side change of the set. 20-15. Benedictine serving set point. Izzy Duchesne. Bergeron. Atwood tries to do something with it and just can't get there. And that's going to be set number 1, match number 2 in favor of the Red Hawks. 21-15. Switch sides, roll it back, and we'll be right back. All right, back for set number 2 after Benedictine takes the first one. 21-15. They're going to start with the serve. Bergeron, Atwood. That's where the length helps. It was behind Sam's head there. Here's another one from Atwood. Well defended, though. Lands back in Sam's lap, and she just can't do anything with it. It's going to be point number 1 there for the Red Hawks. Full disclosure, there was not, unfortunately, there was not power provided today to us, and so we are at the mercy of the battery here for the stream, and it's getting a little bit low, so we will do our best to finish this one out, but that's the second point there for the Red Hawks. Still learning some of these things with these new sports on how to make them work. Probably just need to get another couple extension cords, but off the left hand of Abby Bergeron, way back there near the fence. Another point for Benedictine. Duchesne with the serve. Abby sets up Atwood. Blocked by Duchesne, though. Sam tried to return the favor, but Izzy gets the better of that one, and that one is another point. Got 4-0. Atwood sees the opening in the back, puts it back in the back corner, and that's a side out and a point to stop the run. Sam back to serve. Duchesne puts it back toward the net. That was a good hit there from Ella Burton to instantly bring that ball back over. 5-1. Point away from our first side change of the second set. Sam Atwood able to get that one. Abby puts it over. Duchenne. Burton gets the set to Duchenne. She pokes it over the head of Sam Atwood. And we got 6-1. First side change. Somehow, my math is wrong. And Zoe has 5-2, and that's why we check. 5-2 in favor of Benedictine. Starting off the serve here for Benedictine. That's a hit from Atwood, and that's going to score a point. Abby and Sam super excited about that one, as they should be. 3-5. Quickly turns that one back, though, with out of bounds there. A little too much adrenaline there for Abby. She had too much power behind that. Bergeron, Atwood, Abby for the hit. And Burton can't retrieve that one. And that's side out and point. 4-6 now. Izzy with the set to Burton. Burton pokes it over, and Abby just can't get there. This is a back and forth match here, or set. 7-4 now, as Burton steps back to serve. Abby puts that one over. Duchenne puts it over, back over again. Atwood, blocked by Duchenne. We got a net violation anyway on Benedictine, and that's going to score a point. Send Abby Bergeron back to serve. Duchenne puts it over. Abby saw that coming. Lions keep it up and over. Good defensive effort, and that one's out of bounds. Good defense there by the Lions. 6-7 now, the score. Could it be 6 or maybe 7? And again, the power behind the bow. And that's 8-6 as the ball comes back on the side out. Tipped over by Burton for the point. 9-6. Bergeron sets it up for Atwood on the run. Burton gets her own hit there. Atwood puts it back up. Abby saves it right at the net. Sam just can't poke it over. We got 10-6 as our score. Burton with the serve. Abby puts it back. Right up at the net, though. Not where she wanted it, and that's going to fall another point for Benedictine. Over. Burton fat point there for Benedictine. Right, but can't get rolling. Show 7 fully scratch. Then she's going to 47. Going to change.